Hey guys, I'd like to welcome you to the Kortex Podcast, where we navigate the fast-paced world of automotive and more. I'm your host, Corson Schmidt. Here today, I have Chauncey Jones Sr., a 28-year automotive veteran who's mastered both dealership and vendor roles. With expertise in CRM optimization, digital adoption, and business analytics, Chauncey's journey stands out for seamless blending old-school sales wisdom with cutting-edge technology. From record sales leadership to steering multi-million-dollar digital transformations and empowering teams through coaching and community initiatives, Chauncey knows what it takes to lead in a fast-evolving industry. It's great to have you on, Chauncey.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. So before we truly dive into it, you've had nearly 3 decades of experience within automotive, but what led you into the automotive industry at the beginning of your career?
Well, honestly, I was doing something totally different. I went to college to be in the news, broadcasting, and things like that. So I was doing communication and broadcasting and worked on the news station and the radio station, and just wasn't enough money without going out and DJing at night and things like that and staying away from my family. So at the time, my significant other looked at me and said, "Hey, you got to do something different. Because I can't have you out all night every night," right? So I had a buddy that was a manager at a Dodge Chrysler Jeep store at my hometown in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and he told me to come visit him one day, and I did. Went to visit him. He had a showroom full of people, and he didn't have enough salespeople. He asked me to go talk to two people that were standing over in the corner looking at a vehicle. It was a dad and daughter, and he was looking for a car for his daughter for college. Long story short, I ended up selling him a car. He sent me a commission check in the mail. He told me a line, said, "This is how all your commissions are going to look," and I jumped right into the business. And my first 3 years were horrible, but hey, I stuck with it.
That's awesome. And that's the beginning story of how you got started in automotive.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
You got the real world experience in the first day of. You didn't even work for them. That's the funniest part.
No, I didn't. right. Yeah.
So for an audience that is new to Dealer Insights Consulting, your company, can you describe kind of what services you guys offer to dealerships, automotive groups, and kind of what problems you solve best for those individuals?
Yeah, we kind of do a lot, right? So me being in the business for 28 years, being on both sides, inside the dealership and in the vendor world, basically what I do is I go into a dealership and I'm a consultant for the dealership. I go in, find out where their problems are, where their issues arise, and then I build a process around the culture of that store. Every dealership is different, but at the same token, the car business is the same across the country. No matter where you go, it's the same ideas, the same goal at the end of the day, but it may be different ways of getting there, right? So you build your processes based on your people, and that's kind of what I do. I go into their CRM, I clean it up, I build processes, a proven track record of processes that we use for pretty much all of our dealers, tweaking it a little here and a little there, and then I train their staff. I can train sales, finance, managers, service, parts, everybody. On top of that, I can build processes within your DMS. I can clean your DMS up. So now we're talking about accounting and things like that. We can make the systems that you already have work better for you. So I don't go in and tell you, "Hey, you need to buy this, you need to buy that, you need to buy this system and this program and that." Whatever you have, I will enhance it, build processes around it to suit your dealership and help you run a little bit smoother than what you already are.
Nice. That's super cool. What is one of the biggest things that you see dealerships struggling with at the moment? Like when you come in, speak to a dealership and kind of make your plan on what you want to help them with, what seems to be the biggest problem that occurs?
The first two things that I look at is how are you handling your internet leads, and then what are you saying to those customers? So that's my first focus at any dealership. What happens is we're in a world now where everybody is doing what we're doing right now. We're talking through a computer, right? It's not the handshake anymore like it was back in my day when I first started. So a lot of times what happens is people are sending a question to you and it takes you forever to answer them. I may call you and say, "Hey, that Toyota Camry Tuning 25 XLE, can you give me some information on that vehicle? And you've given me everything but the information I need on the vehicle. So a couple things that I try to accomplish when I first go into a dealership is talk to them about how they're handling their leads and the right message to send to the customer right away, and not having that customer wait. Mm-hmm. Once we start talking about the internet process, then we start building into videos. So the new thing here is AI in videos. Okay, people want to see video responses. The canned email templates are old and dried up. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just get the templates and they send it. They don't read it and fix it to the customer's liking or to their needs. They just send the template, which is bad. So what I teach is get your phone out, do a walk around, show your face, so that customer has a different experience than any other dealership.
That's amazing. That's super cool.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that's going to stand you out, right? If every other dealership's doing a regular template that is somewhat tailored to their customer, they're going to know it was probably AI written and probably has AI name features within it to make it super easy to send the template over. But as long as you take that time, make that video, send it over, it's going to make a huge difference within your dealership and show the passion that you have, show the trust with that customer that you're speaking to.
Definitely. And people can put a name to a face also too, right? So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like me and you meeting now instead of talking over the phone, right? It's a little bit different when you're talking over the phone. You can't feel that energy. You can't vibe with the person until you're face to face with them. What have been some of the most valuable experiences that you've gained through your journey in the automotive space?
Well, the number one thing that I tell people all the time that I love is when I see the light bulb go on and the eyes pop open when I walk into a store. So the first thing I can tell you is I've been to thousands and thousands of stores across the country, right? I grew up in Milwaukee, lived in Atlanta for 26 years, and now I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been here for 8 years at this point. Worked for a couple of DMS companies and CRM companies, and I traveled to a bunch of dealerships, and like I told you earlier, they're all the same, right? Just different areas and different ways of doing things. But when the light bulb comes on and you can see their eyes brighten up and they're like, wow, if I would have done it this way for this long, I probably would have sold more cars, or I would have better customer retention. Because at the end of the day, we want to sell cars, no doubt about it. But it's more about retention in your service drive and everything else, so that customer can then come back to you when it's time to buy another vehicle. Because the one thing that you have to understand too is you have to find a way to combine service and sales, right? So if I have a strong sales staff in the front using a strong process and doing the things that they need to do, I can then build something in my service drive where I can turn those service customers into buying vehicles also too, right? Mm-hmm. And getting my used car lot where I need to be. So I kind of mix those two together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, keeping that customer retention, keeping your customers happy, bringing them back with a smile on the face at the end of the day. Because if you can keep that customer coming back for those services, treat them properly, build that trust, build that relationship with that customer, he's going to come back and get a vehicle.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
With all these with the new talk being AI within dealerships, like you mentioned, you guys send videos instead of sending email templates. That's what you tell your dealerships. What other impacts have you seen it having on dealerships with having a bunch of automated messaging being the new thing, or automated outreach? What is your opinion on that kind of thing?
So first, let me just say this. I love AI and automation. I love it, right? But sometimes it can be too heavy. People still want to talk to people, right? For sure. And with all these different AI tools that are out there, they're great. Don't get me wrong. If you set them up correctly. What happens is dealers buy these different AI programs to answer their leads and answer their phones and things like that. And they just, again, don't customize it to their dealership. It's a canned product. They throw it in the system and let it go, right? And then what I do is I look in different dealerships and look at their follow-up and things like that. And now all of a sudden I have this AI bot sending all these messages to a customer that's asking for numbers, asking about finance, asking if they can upgrade to this, or but we're just, when can you get in? When can you get in? When can you get in? Well, let's talk to the customer. I believe AI and automation should happen when maybe not until I get engagement. I'll let AI run until I get engagement, and then when I get engagement, it needs to talk to a real person, right? That customer needs to talk to a real person.
For sure.
And then let that follow-up be light. It doesn't need to be 10 calls a day to a customer. That's our problem. We call customers way too much. We email, text way too much. Let's just get to what they need. Let's set the appointment and let's get them in the door. But it's different ways to do it in different areas and different types of people. And you have to be what I like to call a comedian and know how to work your way with different people, right? Every customer is not going to be the same. Okay, some are numbers driven. I want to see a number before I walk in your door. Mm-hmm. Some are I want to see the product before we talk about numbers. And you have to understand that customer and understand how to get them into your store. I will say this: we have new products out there now that allows us to do video and do numbers like we're doing right now. So I can do my whole transaction through web, which is cool. They can sign paperwork and things like that. That is going to be a game changer, and it is a game changer once people start to learn how to use it the correct way.
Yeah, for sure. It's just making it more convenient for the customer at the end of the day. If you can move towards that online side of selling, do you think we're still going to have those brick and mortar locations, or do you think it's most car sales is going to be online?
I
online
think we're going to
sales.
still have brick and mortar. I think the thing is, the problem that you run into is a lot of dealers are scared of this technology, all right? My goal is to teach them not to be afraid of it. Because once you start to be afraid of it, what's going to happen is you're going to start to lose money because customers are not going to want to deal with you. You're still going to have your older customers or the customers that are not tech savvy that want to come in and talk to somebody. I mean, even though I'm into the tech and I like the tech, I still want to shake a hand. I still want to sit across from somebody and talk to somebody, right?
For sure.
So you're still going to have those customers that want to, smell, taste, feel, whatever the case may be before they purchase, right? So I don't think we're ever going to get rid of that. I think what it's going to go to is maybe a model where some dealerships are going to already where it's one person from start to finish, okay? Mm-hmm. So I don't have a salesperson, manager, finance. It's just one person that's taking me through the whole process.
Making it more convenient at the end of the day, like we spoke about earlier. And back to your point earlier about AI and using it to enhance your teams. At the end of the day, that's what it's meant to do. If you don't abuse it and you use it properly within your team, helping you become more efficient, maybe write just a little bit better, or give you some ideas for whether you're doing content creation, marketing, or even with your sales. You could record your sales, be like, where did I mess up here? What can I do better? As long as you're using it to enhance your team, enhance yourself, and kind of ask it to almost consult you in a way, it's gonna make everyone's life easier within a dealership or any aspect with any business.
For sure. Yeah. Yep.
So one of the biggest things I've heard when speaking with dealerships is that their systems are so messy. So they have multiple accounts with different individuals and everything is all messed up. Is that something that you're seeing kind of around United States as a whole? Is that the systems are all messed up? Maybe a franchise has different locations that are using totally different systems and nothing's truly aligned with those franchises or with those dealerships, whether it be the service and the sales side of things. Is that something you go in and clean up yourself or kind of guide them in a direction to clean everything up there?
Yeah, that's definitely what I do. You're right. You get into these dealerships and they have 40 different systems to run their dealership, and you have 40 different people with the passwords and access and admin, different people with admins and things like that. The one thing that I try to suggest to every dealer when I walk in is have one admin, maybe two admins for everything, and have what we call a champion, all right, in all those products. Because one, if somebody leaves, you're screwed, okay? And you don't have that information. It's now I got to call my performance manager. I got to call the company, figure out how to get in this product, and then I got to learn it all over again to learn how to use it the correct way. The other thing, we have tools out there that have all in one. Mm-hmm. So I kind of try to drive them into that. A lot of times dealers are into contracts that they can't get out of. That's kind of why we go in and just deal with the systems that they already have. and try to enhance those. But if we can get them out of it and kind of suggest certain different things, we will. I'm not partial to any particular program. There's some out there that are better than others in certain ways, and then in other ways they're not, right? So it's several CRMs out there that I think are great, and then I think it's several out there that are not. But on the same token, it's probably only 2 DMS systems that I truly like, and then the rest are just trash to me. But that's just my personal opinion. Some people like it, some people don't. So that's kind of why I just work with whatever they have. I know how to use all of them. It's just a matter of building the proper structure and process around it.
To help them truly optimize what they have already inside their company. Because a lot of businesses, once they are with something, they don't want to change. At the end of the day,
and then the other thing is, I don't want to bring more cost to you, right? You're already paying for the services that we bring, plus everything you already have. I don't want to start making you spend more money. I want you to make more money. Yeah.
For sure. I've been speaking to some dealerships, and they say they don't want to go towards that AI model because they want to keep it more human-to-human interaction. Are you seeing quite a few dealerships that you're working with kind of going more towards that direction, keeping it more human-to-human instead of bringing in that AI factor?
Unfortunately, a lot of dealers want to go to AI, and I'll tell you why. Salespeople are lazy. I was one, all right? No one wants to do the follow-up, which baffles me. Now that I've been in the business this long, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do your follow-up, right? But that's just what it's been. It's been like that the entire time I've been in the business, right? Salespeople don't like to do the follow-up. The ones that do are successful. The ones that don't, they struggle. I mean, that's why I struggled my first 3 years. I just wanted to sell. I didn't want to do the follow-up, right? And then it finally took someone to sit me down and say, hey, young man, you got to do the follow-up. If you don't do the follow-up, you're never going to make the kind of money you see these other guys making. Because I used to walk around the dealership and like, man, I wish I could make the kind of money he makes. And they're making, back in the 90s, $150,000, $200,000. I'm like, I want to make that. Here I am making 30, 40, right? My first 3 years. But that 4th year, that 5th year, by the time I got to the 6th year, I was over that 150, right? But it was because I did that follow-up that I was supposed to do that was in the system. And mind you, back then, we didn't have the way the CRMs now have. Ours was like a Rolodex, right? So we were lucky to be able to remember to call somebody, but you had to do the follow-up. It was throw a yellow pages in front of you or white pages in front of you. You probably don't even know what that is, but it was like a phone book with everybody's name and number in it. You just started calling those people, right? And that's just what it was. Yeah.
No, that's totally, even this day and age, if you can stay consistent with reaching out to your clients, it brings back to that trust factor. Like, you're not reaching out every hour to be annoying. You're just reaching out, giving them a heads up that you're there. If they have any questions, you're available. And ready to work with them at the end of the day. You're building a relationship with them. And that's where a lot of people, just before you chime in there, that's where a lot of people fail, is because they think they're annoying the person. But at the end of the day, as long as you come off with the right tone and the right messaging, you're trying to build that relationship rather than push them away at the end of the day.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, be friends. Make friends with your customers.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, I'll go back to the first 3 years were horrible for me, but when I changed my mindset and started making my customers my friends and having just a conversation with them, it was never about the vehicle until it was about the vehicle. Typically, it was just how the kids are doing, how's that house you're building, whatever the case may be, and we became friends. I mean, I stopped selling cars in 2008, 2009, and I was able to sell my database, right, to another salesperson that really wanted it because he knew my customers were coming back.
Yeah.
Those customers I still have the same phone number. They still call me all the way up until like 2015. Who do I need to go see? Who do I need to go? But that was because of the relationship that I built, right? And so that's kind of what I try to teach now. Build those relationships so you have those customers that call you all the time. It was times where I would call a customer on the second to last day of the month. I need 2 more vehicles. I could call 2 customers, hey, come trade your vehicle in, and they'll be ready to trade their vehicle in just to help me get to my bonus, right? You gotta have that relationship. Yeah,
for sure. The big thing that I've heard, or that's in the industry right now, is kind of those training and coaching and mentorship side of things, and the consulting as well. Some of those courses that take you through, help your sales team, help whatever. Are you a believer in some of those big teams that will come in and actually help turn around your dealership? Do you think it's something that a lot of dealerships need? Because one of the biggest things was COVID. It kind of turned sales away, right? A lot of people forgot how to sell, and they forgot how to really work one-on-one with a customer. Is that something you're seeing a lot of dealerships jump into, including your services as well?
It's a yes and no answer to that. How can I put it? So, depending on the dealership and the people you have in a dealership, depends on what you need. I really am not for the raw. Well, let's do sales training. Because if you don't have the right people, you can do all the sales training in the world. They still don't know, because customer service is you're raised on customer service. It's not taught. Your parents taught you how to treat the next person, right? So if that person doesn't genuinely know how to do customer service or be in the customer service field, it's going to be kind of tough. I think building processes and putting processes in place and putting management in place and leaders in place to make sure those processes are ran right will ultimately give you the results you're needing as far as sales. Some stores do need these sales guys coming in, teaching them how to sell a car, right? But the thing that you have to realize, and that's kind of slowing down too, now that I think about it, because I'll tell you this, 9 times out of 10, the customer knows more about that vehicle than you do. They've been researching that vehicle for 3 to 6 months, and now they're ready to buy. They know exactly what they want. They know every dimension, torque, whatever the case may be before you do. And the reason why is because, let's just take Toyota. When I worked at Toyota for all those years, I mean, just a Tundra truck, and this is 10 years ago, 15 years ago, just a Tundra truck had 50 different models, or trim packages, I should say. All right? So we had to remember all that. There's no way in the world you're going to remember that. Plus the Camry, Highlander, RAV4, FJ Crew, whatever, right?
Yeah,
so all those vehicles we had to remember, plus all their packages. That customer knows more than you do. So I'm not saying you don't need to know how to sell. The process is what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Step
back
1,
to the
step
relationship.
2, step 3. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just bringing it all back to the relationship, building that relationship with the customer at the end of the day, standing out from just being a little bit different than the last salesperson instead of being the exact same.
That's it. People buy from people.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's it, right? People buy from people, and it's gonna stay like that. With sales, it's always gonna stay like that. I mean, you can have a great brand and people can buy off your website, but a car, people aren't gonna buy off it until they come see it in person, actually talk to someone, get to know the details, get to know more about that vehicle.
Exactly.
Especially a big purchase like that.
Right.
What advice would you give to someone either starting out in a dealership, or whether it be a dealership looking to modernize their dealership? Let's start with someone coming in wanting to be a salesperson, wanting to get started with a dealership right out of high school. What is some of the best advice you'd give them?
Don't get a big head. Listen to your managers. The one thing that I think new salespeople forget is managers get paid off of what you do. So they're going to want you to make the best or the most money possible, because that's how they get paid. So if you listen to what they've said, because they've been in the business for a while, I'm pretty sure you're going to sell the vehicle, but you got to listen. What happens with new salespeople is they start selling cars, they start selling a bunch of cars, and then their head gets big, and then they don't listen. Now they're big shots, right? And they get out there, and then all of a sudden those sales start going down because now they think they know everything because they sold 10 cars their first month. Got to listen. Learn your product. What a lot of people fail to do, even though your customer is going to know more than you, 9 times out of 10, still know your product. Because some customers will come and test you. What's the towing capacity? What's 4-wheel drive? You got to know those things, right? Just the basics. You don't have to be a genius on it, but just the basics, and know what those vehicles and those trim levels. Know your competition. Know who's your competitors. Why is your vehicle better than theirs? Why is your dealership better than the next dealership? Know the history of your dealership. Why is this such a great place to work at? You want to make sure you relay that to your customers. It's a great place to buy also, right? So those are things. Build yourself up in the business. One last thing for a salesperson: stay put. Okay? what happens with salespeople is they move from dealership to dealership to dealership to dealership. That's not going to help you in the long run. I get it. The first couple, you want to find the right spot. I get that. But once you get to the right spot, stay put. That way your customers can remember where you're at and they can come back to you. A lot of times, salespeople move from spot to spot and they're just starting all over again. Every time they move, they have to start all over.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great point.
The up bus is not coming anymore, so you want to stay put.
No, that's a great point. That last one. Sorry, go ahead.
And then for dealers that are trying to modernize themselves, take it slow. Rome wasn't built in one day, but build processes behind it, right? One process at a time. Let's focus on one thing at a time, and keep going, right? I think what happens is dealers try to do so much at one time, and then they just fail. They get tired, they get worn out, right? You gotta start somewhere. Typically, when I go into a dealership, I start with two things: answer your leads on time and send that video out, the first response. We get that down packed, then we go to the next part. Then go next, right? So I just would say take your time, and it'll benefit you in the long run. Yeah.
For sure. Love that advice. That's some great advice. What's your opinion on dealerships right now with content creation in this digital age that we're in? Do you see it playing a huge fact? The dealerships that are playing that content game really gaining a following from people within the community. Do you see it really paying off at the end of the day to help with that marketing?
Yes. I'm actually partial to content creator. My wife does that. And
nice.
she has a business doing that, right? And everybody around me, that's what they do. That's how they make their money. I mean, she has a day job also, but that's we're trying to make a business out of that, right? I tell dealers all the time, content creating is where it's at, right? That's where people are looking at. No one's reading the ad in the paper anymore. Unfortunately, nobody reads as much as they used to, like we used to. But people want to see a video. They want to be able to scroll through social media, hit the play button, and get the content that they need. And so I think every dealership in America should be doing it.
For sure. I had one of the local dealerships here in Ontario, one of the Lexus dealers. They do YouTube content, and I'm just looking it up now. How many subscribers they've brought together. But they have somewhere like, I think, 40K subscribers, and he said it's made a huge impact on their following. He says they have people all around the world calling them and be like, hey, thank you for that video. Thank you for comparing these two vehicles. It's really helped me out. And it's huge because you're building that credibility, you're building that relationship at the end of the day. And when someone walks into that dealership, they know your face. They like, oh, I saw that guy in the video. No way. Like, it just builds that credibility, builds that relationship. It's something that if you're not started, one thing, if you're not started now with social media, you're already behind because it's something that
you're way behind.
Exactly. It came out a long time ago, but if you're not, start now. Get a team on it and start posting videos, whether even on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, post everywhere, because if you can gain that following, you can gain that traction, you can gain that credibility within the market and set yourself apart from competitors.
I tell salespeople all the time, you want to do this for yourself too, because in this day and age, people can buy from any dealership. I can be in California and buy a dealership in New York. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can have vehicles shipped to me, the whole 9 yards. It doesn't matter where the customer is at. Make videos, put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook. And people laugh at me when I say Facebook. You gotta use Facebook too, because people still use Facebook, and you gotta push it. And I have a lot of friends and a lot of people that do it, and they're successful doing it. It's a shame that not everyone is doing it. Everybody needs to do it. Let's put it that way. Everybody needs to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And back to Facebook, it's one of the, if you're running any digital marketing ad, Facebook is the first place everyone goes for their ads. Because it gets traction. Why would they put ads on Facebook if it didn't work? And it works. And a lot of people aren't. I'm young, and we never used Facebook growing up, but now it seems to be that go-to thing. You have Instagram and Facebook, and everyone's posting on Instagram and Facebook, and it seems to be coming back up and moving forward. So that's definitely one piece of advice for any business. It's just use your socials, leverage that. Looking ahead, what are some of the top goals that you have for the company? Where do you want to bring the company? Are you focusing more on your wife's business at the moment? What does the future look like for your company or your wife's company, wherever you guys want to take?
Well, I tell you what, I got a lot going on. So the company that I have, I'm just going to continue to do that because I love to do it. I love going into dealerships, helping them change and make changes with the upper management and directors and things like that. The other thing that I have going on, I actually have my sign in the back of me right now, is I'm starting a wholesale. I got my wholesale license. So
okay, nice.
Buying and selling cars, and hopefully one day have a mom and pop used car lot. We'll see. We're working on it. But right now, buying and selling cars. And then, of course, just helping my wife build her platform up, because her platform is growing big time here in Phoenix, and she's doing a great job. So just helping with all that stuff. So we have those three things going on. Plus, we have another catering business on the side that we're trying to. So we got a lot going on.
Yeah, you guys are busy.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that are holding you back from taking those steps to kind of pulling everything together? Is it the client acquisition, or what is it? Is it just kind of finding the time at the end of the day with being how busy you are?
Well, with the consulting company, it's one of those things where the pitching, right? Pitching the right dealers that want to invest in their stores. We don't charge a whole lot. Our fees are not crazy compared to what others charge for what we do. All right. Mm-hmm. It's just finding the right dealers that want to invest in their people and invest in their brand to build them up and make more money. Because at the end of the day, if you follow our process and you follow it to a T, we have nothing but success stories. Even with the company I do contract work for, he has dealers for the last 10 years that he's worked with. I have dealers that I've worked with for the last 5 years. And the thing is, if they follow the processes, they are going to make more money. And the fees that we charge, literally maybe our 1 to 2 car deals a month will pay for those fees. That's just how low they are, right? So we're not coming here saying, $10,000, $15,000. All of our services are under $5,000. And you can make that off of 2 vehicles per month,
for sure.
As far as gross and things like that. And it's worth it. If I have to spend that much money to give myself 15 to 20 more deals per month, by all means, I'm going to do it. And most dealers don't see it at first, but when they see it, they love it and they continue to use us. We have our retention. I have dealers that have been with us for 10 years. So, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the vision behind it. I love where you guys want to take the company. And that's back to one thing you said there, is you said that dealerships don't want to make that initial investment to show the growth. And that's with any business owner that I've seen a lot of companies not want to look into different ways of making money, and they want to keep doing their same old way. But if they open their eyes, spend a little bit of money, that impact is going to have, the learning your team's going to have. If you're invested in your team and you want your team to grow, spend that little bit of money, invest in your team, because the impact it's going to have on your company is going to be huge. As long as you might pick a lemon and work with the wrong company, but you might pick a peach and you work with the best company around and you get huge results. And and at the end of the day, to make money, you got to spend money. You have to invest money to make money at the end of the day. And that's where I see a lot of older businesses kind of separating from the newer ones, because you have older businesses where companies are run by someone who was a leader in, say, you have a repair shop and someone was a master tech and they're running a business, but they don't really know how to run a business. Where you have these new modern businesses where they're all entrepreneurship, they have the whole mindset on how to build a business and really roll things out. They have that marketing background, they have that sales background, rolling things out. So at the end of the day, if you are that master tech, you know the trade very well, you know the equipment very well, invest a little bit on some training and help teach yourself, help teach your team, and really push your team forward to hit your true potential at the end of the day.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. if you could go back throughout your journey, I know I asked a similar question to this, but what are some of the most important lessons that you've learned through your journey? Whether it be in automotive, whether it be just entrepreneurship, whether it be mindset, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned?
Stay true to yourself. Have integrity. Be honest. Integrity is the same thing, but be honest. Be straight up, and be fair. The saying is customer is always right. I honestly don't believe that, but I believe in being fair, right? I'm going to make sure the situation is resolved and whatever, if it's an issue, of course, and make the customer happy, of course. But fair is my biggest thing. I always want to be fair to everybody, right? Give everybody a chance, do the right thing. Integrity is big to me. Without those things, you're going to fail. And I've been on both sides of it, right? So I'm not ashamed to say it. I've been on both sides of it and learned my lesson on the wrong side, But it taught me my lesson years ago. I mean, that's years ago. But it taught me my lesson, and I'm glad that I changed because it's made me successful by doing it the right way.
For sure. And the biggest thing is learn. That's one thing I want to add to that is learn. Because just me being on this podcast and listening to you speak, I've learned so much from your experience, your knowledge, and just everything. If people wanted to get in contact with you, learn more about your programs, or connect with you for future collaboration, where can they contact you? Where can they get a hold of you?
They can reach me by phone. My phone number is 404-790-5579. That number again is 404-790-5579, or they can reach me by email, and that's going to be my last name, Jones, first name, Chauncey, SR at gmail.com. Again, that's Jones, Chauncey, SR at gmail.com is where you can reach me. Yep.
Perfect. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast today. I learned a lot, and the viewers will definitely use your experience and learn a lot from you as well, Chauncey. I really appreciate it. We'll have to run this back again when you get the little boutique running at on your own. And for sure. Awesome. Thank you, Chauncey. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.